Hello and welcome, my fellow DIY miniature dollhouse lovers. What I've worked out what I want to do with this page is I want to do a series of videos on how I do things and how I've worked out how to build these beautiful, amazing kits that are around me that we've all fallen in love with. I tell all of my followers, if they're new, don't buy one, buy 10, because you're not going to want to stop after one. And I've built over 60 now. My latest challenge is, of course, those tiny 6 little builds and that make up the one house. This is one of them. I'm now on to the third one. This is the second one. Tonight on my TikTok live, I should be finishing the third one. So what I wanted to do, the first lot of the videos I want to put up for you is what I use to build these kits. And the first thing, of course, is scissors. But with my scissors and with my essential trimmer, I can't use the one pair of scissors for everything. But I also can't use one this size for everything. If I do have a long line to cut, I will use the bigger scissors just very slowly. But I have 3 different sizes, so I can cut different lengths I need to. The next thing that you definitely need to build these kits is a knife of some sort, or even one of these ones that you can slide up and down. The knives are handy. A lot of the kits, the wood comes like this, where you have to actually cut it out. There's little bits of wood that are joining on that if you can cut through it, it makes it a lot cleaner for you. You won't have to use your sandpaper that comes with every kit to sand off those edges. So a knife definitely. Also for things like window shapes, you've got to cut out of your wallpaper. So that one, of course, I can't use a pair of scissors to cut that out, and I can't use that big knife. I'll use this knife to cut those little edges very carefully. The next thing that I've got in my go-to use a lot kit is this, and this is actually a pimple popper. If you're in Australia, you can buy these at the chemist, pharmacies, drug stores, wherever. This is a Manicare one. It's got the round end for the pimples, and then at the other end is a sharp point with a plastic coating that I don't like taking off because I always stab myself. But I use this a lot for when I've got to poke holes in the wallpapers for the lights to go through, or also if I've got a little circle in the middle of something to cut out and I can't get the scissors in there, I can't use the knife for it, I'll use this little point and just dot, dot, dot all the way around so that you can push it out, and all those dots will create the cut that you need for the circles. So that does come in handy for me, and I often use it a lot. Tweezers. Tweezers are hard for me with my tremors because a lot of times while I'm holding it, the tweezers open and shut with my hands as well. So my fingernails I use a lot as tweezers. I always tell everyone that the one thing you need is long nails for this kit, I think. I use them a lot holding little things and bits and pieces instead of the tweezers. But you definitely need some tweezers. I don't recommend the plastic ones that come with some of the kits because they're just too flimsy, I find. But they might work for you. You never know. The next thing you need are wire cutters. Now, this came in a kit, these 3. I don't usually use these as wire cutters. For the fact that when they cut it, they make that pinched edge on the end of the wire, where if I've got to put that pinched edge on as a handle onto a bit of wood, it's a bit tougher. So what I found, instead of those to cut wires, is one day I just used one of my little pairs of scissors and it cut it clean and straight. for thinner wires. For thicker wires, I grabbed these out of my husband's work shed. They're like tin snips or something, but they give you a straight cut. This one, it cuts thinner wires, but what I found was then it was starting to rip the paper. So I bought another pair. I coloured these in pink so I know they're my wire cutters, and these are my paper pair. And that way I can get that straight edge when I need to. I do use these because they're flat inside. Sometimes you've got to flatten your handles to put them onto the cupboards. So I use these flattened ones a fair bit, and sometimes these to bend wires, but I'll show you my other trick for that. Now, what I said at the beginning was I'm going to make these a series of videos, and they're going to be my how I found out how to build these houses. So this one today is what you need, or what I've found I need for the kits, but then I'll do another one just on the glue that I found. Then I'll do another one just on the wire work and how I've worked out wire work. And then I'll do another one on the templates and the fabrics. And then I'll do another one on putting the fabric on chairs and things and my edges that I've worked out how to do. So I'll do a series of videos showing all those. So this, as we're going through, there'll be more things that are going to come up eventually out of all this. Another thing I use a lot are these trays. I use them for beads and for flower work and things. Once I set up a kit, which will be another video too, setting up a kit and how I start, what I do when I first open a kit and get ready to start. Now these trays are also good because some kits you have 2 or 3 bags of beads. So I'll tip one bag into here and I'll write the number on here. So say it's bag 5 and bag 4 and bag 3, so on. So that I know just with a felt tip pen, I can then rub it off this ceramic and I know what bags the beads come from so I don't get confused. And I've got a couple of different sets of these trays. They're very helpful. They're heavy as well, so I can pick them up and not fling them all across the room like you could imagine. And they're easier to find those beads instead of opening the bags all the time. We're back. Yeah, we're back. Hopefully. Goodness. Hey, Sasha, how are you, sweetheart? Another thing I've got in my tray is paintbrushes, and you do need paintbrushes for some kits. A roll of kits have a lot of painting of some furniture and around the edges and the back of the walls and things. So you do need some paintbrushes. I also use these for wire work as well, which I'll show you the video that I get into wire work. But if you've just got to do a little U shape for a handle for a cup, I found trying to use the tweezers was too hard. Sometimes trying to use those round wire cutters are too hard. But what I found was, especially if you've got to get a bigger circle than that or a bigger U shape, with the paintbrushes, they at least give you different thicknesses that you can work out what thickness you've got to do. And what I've got is a few different size circles that help me make the different size circle shapes that I need. So if I've got a circle shape, I'll hold the wire in that hand, I'll wrap it around and come back up, and where the 2 wires join, I cut it there so that they join perfectly, not try and match them up. But we'll get into that with the wire work. This is my favourite little tool that I made up. With these, you have a lot of S-shaped wire works you've got to do for handles and things like that, for cups, kettles, jugs, all different types of things. So what I did was get 2 paintbrushes together with an elastic band, but they spread open. So I put this bit of wood in here so I can grip it in my hand better. I've got hold of it and it's thicker than the paintbrushes. They were too thin in my hands. I can put the wire in the middle, bend it around this side and hold it, and then bend it around that side, pull it off the top, and it'll give me my S shape. If you've got to go thicker, you can go further down, or you can put two thicker things together that will make the bigger S shape for you. So they do come in handy, not just for paintbrushes. Another thing is a ruler. You definitely need a ruler, and you need a 1 centimetre millimetre ruler because everything is in that measurement. I use a metal ruler, so I'm not cutting into a plastic ruler. Sometimes you'll be cutting alongside the ruler. You can cut into the plastic. Also with these, I can hold wire beside it at the measurement I need and be able to cut off the top and not worry about cutting into the ruler as well. Some kits you may need a screwdriver. I've got this one because it's big in my hand. Like I said, for my tremors, I need to fill my hands up with things. I can't use, one of the kits came with this little tiny thing, and I can't use that. This is magnetized too for me. It's got all the pieces in there if I need to use a different head on the screwdriver, and it helps me. You may use screwdrivers for music boxes with your kits, or you will use them for music boxes if the kits come with them. Also, some kits come with hinges that you need the screwdrivers for, so just keep that handy. Another thing that I will get on to, I'll do a video of itself with glues because I've found 3 fantastic glues that work for me. But what I suggest is if you get a kit that comes with the clear glue, use it. It is amazing. It sticks straight away, but don't use too much. At first, what I was doing was pouring it on to a piece of paper with the toothpick because the head of these are too big. The hole's too big. You're going to have glue everywhere. Remember, you're working with little things, so you want to make sure you're using little bits of glue. So the toothpick did work for me, but I wasted a lot of glue because with that alcohol glue, once the air hits it, it gets thicker. So what I did, I've upgraded to, are these needlepoint bottles. Now what you do is you just open the lid, pour it straight in, fill it up. This bottle would last me 2 kits if I was lucky, depending on how much glue I wasted on my paper. This bottle, I'm getting nearly 4 kits out of this bottle because you're only using the tiniest bit. You're not getting glue everywhere. It makes it precise where you're putting the glue. These bottles, I bought 6 of them for like under $5. So you can get them cheap enough on any of the sites. The main things you need when building these kits is one of these self-healing cutting mats. From a craft shop anywhere you will find them. And what they do is if I cut in with the knife, it's going to seal straight back up. You're not going to see the cut. You're not wrecking your desk, which is another major thing you need. You need a workspace for these kits because once you build one, you're going to keep going. So you need a workspace that you can keep as your table for doing it and you can set yourself up around it. Once you build more kits, you're going to end up keeping, and I suggest, keep all your leftovers from your kits. You never know when you may need it, or you never know if your next kit didn't come with that. So I keep everything. I've got trolleys now full of stuff. If I can, that trolley all full of all my extras. Other trolleys, which I will show you in another one of the videos, my whole setup. Also, good lighting. You need good lighting as well. Once you get yourself set up and you get your first kit, you're going to be amazed at what they turn out like and what you can do. My big advice is take your time. Take your time, and if you can't do something, don't worry about it. No one's going to know it was meant to be in that kit. Have fun building these kits. You can build them all different sizes, all different types, all different sceneries. This is one of my faves. With a pool and everything, the kitchen. There's a little pot on the stove back there on the kitchen. The milk cartons. The dining table set with food on it. The little chandelier, and the beautiful chandelier in the bedroom. The bubbles in the bath up the top. It's amazing what you can do and what these kits, how proud these kits can make you, especially with shaky hands like mine. Now we're building these tiny little ones like I showed you, and they're just amazing. You'll be so proud of yourself, guys. Have fun with them. Don't put any pressure on yourself. If you're having trouble with something and struggling, walk away, come back later. You can do it. If I can do it, anyone can. Now, like I said, guys, this is the first of a few videos I'm going to put up. There's probably going to be about 10 or 12, all separate videos of different things. So this is the first one, how to set up. The next one will be how I open a kit and set it all up and get prepared, ready to go. Then the next video I'll talk about the glue, because that's another major thing that you need to get right. If your glue doesn't work for you, I would have thrown this kit if I didn't find a roll of kit first. Roll-Off has that amazing glue that if anyone doesn't like it, please send it to me, because it is amazing. And that is the glue that helped me be able to build these kits. And now the wonderful Roll-Off has given us a shaky 20% discount off for you guys. But don't forget the E for ET in shaky if you use that. It's only on robotime.com site as well. But on robotime.com, you'll not only find all these amazing, beautiful dollhouses. For your partners, you can also find the 3D wooden puzzles. And they're amazing what they can do with these things. This is like 140 pieces, I think. This one was like 110 pieces or something. This one has a music box in it that turns around. They're going to love it. Get yourselves both into it. Then your partner won't be able to whinge, see? We know what we're doing. All right, guys, I hope that's a helpful one. Like I said, I will come back on and do more of these videos. I did do a video of this afternoon, and I was trying to just edit the front and the end and then upload it, and it just wouldn't work. So I've had to come on and do it live. So from now on, they'll all be live, but they will stay on the page here, so you'll be able to watch them. I hope that helps, guys. Like I said, have fun, no pressure. If something doesn't work out for you, no one's going to know it was meant to be in there. Love you all. Have a great shaky day or night wherever you are. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye, guys.